humans of the internet. Welcome to the Gallant Horde. Today we are playing the Lost Hermit. I had to think about that for a hot second. What game are we playing? That's how today's going. These 6 lovely people are going to Circle Creek, which is going to become very important in the future of the Gallant Horde. To find and probably rescue one Malachi. We have a new player today, as you can probably see. Shawn, welcome to the Gallant Horde. We're very excited to have you. And I'm loving the VTuber thing. It's very exciting. It is going to make me want to do it for everyone, but we so don't have the budget for that, unfortunately. So welcome. Before we get it, I'm going to get you to introduce yourself properly in a minute. But before we get into all of that, we will do our... Oh, look, I didn't write down what the giveaways are today. Wow, I'm doing well, you guys. I'm trying to see if it's told me. Potion of Cure Meat. A potion of Cure Meat. A potion of Cure Meat. The potion of Cure Meat.
I did hear that right. Okay, yeah.
You did.
No, we're hearing you right. We're just trying to process what that is.
It comes as all our in-game giveaways currently do from level 1 gamers. Deck of useful things. It's amazing. It has a lot of very cool stuff in it. So if you are interested in winning your character, or one of the other Horde characters, or one of the Horde characters if you're not in the Horde, a potion of Cure Meats, type exclamation point shiny thing in the chat, and maybe you will win it. It's bonkers. I love it. If you're not a Horde member, you can gift it to any Horde member you wish, and it will magically appear in their hat. As always, we are hunting for subscribers for November. We are doing our Birds of a Feather reward thing, which is 50 new or renewed subscribers in November. We have a couple of them scheduled for January, and I think like 4. I've thrown in the weird ones like Blood Hunter and Artificer. So there are like 4 classes we haven't done yet, and those are up for voting in the Toastadogo, which is our subscriber channel in our Discord. So hit the subscribe button, support the stream. That would be awesome. We are also currently raising money to Theseus's ship, Adam's computer. If you do not understand that reference, it basically means we're switching out bits a bit at a time. So at the moment we are going for the motherboard, I think, which is 450 New Zealand dollars. The last time I looked, we were at about 175. If we hit that target, we will schedule and run a Familiars of the Horde one-shot. It's a broad term. Familiars, steeds, animal companions, etc.
The ever-growing number.
Indeed. The Horde is very prone to such things. Yep, I think that's all my stuff for now, so I'm going to get these lovely people to introduce themselves and their characters, and we can get this show on the road. I will roll a potion of resistance while I do it. Starting with Fernando.
Hi, I'm Fernando, and I'm playing Lonthrefoa, a Lizardfolk Paladin with questionable morality.
I love it. Chris.
I'm Chris. I am playing Kathris, a Earth Genasi Paladin who also has relatively questionable morals.
Morality. I feel like this is a theme. Brandon.
I am playing the Alchemist Blood Hunter.
Humanoid.
May or may not have questionable morals.
Shawn.
Hello, I'm playing Nathir, a Yuan-Ti Ranger, a draconic variety with a little friend. And my morals are not as questionable as you would think, but definitely still questionable.
Jamie.
Yes, hello, I'm Jamie, and I'll be playing Gali Venture, the, bandit puncher first, smith second, businesswoman third.
Excellent. And she's like a robot centaur. Part robot centaur.
Yeah, that's just, a little detail.
And Matthew.
Oh, I am Matthew, and I'll be playing Elzaren, the Aasimar fighter who's suddenly very concerned about his compatriots.
Well, Today, your potion of resistance is resistance to fire. So, just a little heads up to chat. Adam has to take one of our children to a birthday party, which means that I am kind of single-handedly running the stream, which means we will not have inspiration and potion tokens that are up to date. So y'all are just going to have to keep track yourselves. But you can still give inspiration and potions of resistance to the characters. Just don't expect it to update on the screen. Keep track yourselves. Thank you kindly. Alrighty. So, you all are heading to the throne room. Is there anything you would like to do before you enter the throne room today?
I believe we've received our cavalcade of buffs. So
Indeed.
once, happy to go on in.
Excellent.
Elzaren will probably grab the go bag from Garen. Just the
Now
Just
that he
in
knows
case.
about the morality of everybody else on his team.
he was gonna do it. He was gonna do it anyway, but just he feels a little better now with his life choices.
I mean, Elzaren's already been on the mission with Lon, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Should be fine.
A few of you went on a mission together last week too, so.
Yeah.
Alrighty. So you enter the throne room. The lady is radiant. She is glowing with health and fiery brilliance. More so than you have ever seen her before, except maybe the people who were there last week. And she is wearing a gown that is kind of like mirrors, like it's all kind of reflective and sort of shiny, and it's very pretty. And she says, adventurers, welcome. You are going to Circle Creek today. That is one of my favorite places in all the worlds. I do hope that you enjoy your little jaunt there. Did you have any questions for me before you head on off?
Quick question out of character. Did you receive the form that I punched through yesterday?
I
Gotcha.
briefly looked at it, but feel free to
Yeah.
ask me those questions now because I haven't had time to answer.
Yep, that's exactly what I was getting to. Alright. Back to the character. Your Majesty, looking more radiant. Good.
Yes, the SEAL teams have been doing their work well.
You know, it's standard array of questions. Are we operating officially?
Yeah, you will be going to see Andeline, who is the proprietor of the Dancing Anvil in Circle Creek. She is well aware of the Horde, and her and I go way back. So there is no need to be hiding your origins.
Good. Second question. How long has Malachi been missing?
Well, hard to say. Malachi is prone to long periods of time by himself, and he frequently goes off into the forest on all sorts of weird and wonderful missions of his own devising. However, he's been gone for about a month now, and that's long even for him, and they are concerned.
What does he do that's so valuable?
Well, he's lived there for as long as anyone can recall, and he is, although he may not seem it at first glance, a remarkably powerful little individual. He has helped many adventuring parties who have moved through Circle Creek. He's a bit peculiar, but that's not unusual for someone of his nature. He knows a lot of things about a lot of things. And Andeline is extremely fond of him and would prefer him not to be dead.
Final question. Do we know what he looks like?
Malachi?
Yes.
Yes, he is a gnome. He is, let's do this. And she kind of waves a hand, and you see an image of a gnomish individual with a surprisingly long beard, given that gnomes don't usually grow beards. But it like goes right down almost to his knees. He kind of has salt and pepper hair. He's clearly leaned into the like wise old man in the forest kind of vibe. That's what he's going for. In the image, he is wearing a bathrobe and holding a cup of tea, which you get the impression this is how the lady has mostly seen him.
Looks like a real interesting sort of guy.
Yes, he's
Vaguely familiar.
as I said, he knows a lot of things about a lot of things. And we're
Right.
confident.
That is all of my questions. Anyone else?
If we find him, is he going to be able to handle himself in a fight, or are we going to have to protect him?
He has a certain amount of power at his disposal, but it doesn't tend to be combat power. He's good at getting out of sticky situations, which is why it's unusual that he's apparently gotten into one, or at least hasn't returned from one. Probably.
Right.
It's entirely possible you'll find him asleep under a tree and he's gotten distracted by some interesting mushrooms. I hope that is the case, but he'd still be gone long even for him.
Further
And-
questions?
In which case, I believe Lon looks around to everyone else. In which case, ready.
Yes, ready.
Excellent. Do send my regards to Andeline. She is a delight. Be polite. Do not cause trouble in her bar.
Understood.
Excellent. Have fun.
Always.
Oh, yes?
Oh, I said always, my lady.
She claps her hands, and you are transported to a village. It's not a particularly large village, but it is very clearly very prosperous. All the houses are extremely well maintained. It's very beautiful. It looks like something out of like a quaint village tourist kind of thing, except that it's all real. It's very clean. There's no litter. All the gardens are perfectly maintained. Like, it looks really nice. And you, from what you may already know of Circle Creek, I don't know if wait, how much did any of you look into this place at all?
Nope.
Never mind then. But yes, it is clearly fairly well to do, but not particularly large. You are deposited just on the edge of town. There is a very obvious main street. What do you want to do?
Guess we'll go in.
Head into
Oh,
town and
lovely.
look for
Head in town,
look for
look
this
for the
bar.
spa.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Dancing Amble, I believe it was called.
The dancing.
Shouldn't be hard to
Anvil.
find.
Yes.
Yeah,
Yep.
and with
And
a place so small, it should be a pretty central building. Easy
It
to
is.
find.
It is very obvious as you walk into town. You can see a large tavern with a sign which has an image of an anvil on it, and the dancing anvil above that. It's like maybe mid-morning, so it's not particularly like there are a few people wandering around. They don't seem remotely perturbed by your varied appearance. They're like, eh.
We go in?
They like greet you politely. Everyone's really nice. Yeah.
Yeah,
You go in?
give them a little wave as we go past.
Mhm.
Cool. You enter the tavern. It is like the rest of the town, really nice. It's pretty simple. Like, it's a pretty straightforward kind of tavern. There is a bar, and there is a human woman at the bar. She has long, dark, curly black hair. That is like tied back because she's working in a bar. And she looks up. There are a couple of people who are having like late breakfast, early lunch, depending on their proclivities. And she looks up and she goes, "Ah, you must be our intrepid rescuers. How lovely to meet you all finally. I'm Andeline."
It's great to meet you.
Oh,
And to you,
Greetings,
the lady
Andeline.
sends her regard.
An honor to meet you.
So, you've come about our wayward hermit, have you?
Correct.
Yes.
Do you have any idea in which direction he may have wandered?
Well, kind of. He lives on the end of town, like right at the edge of town. He's not very keen on people, or at least he is, but in small doses. His cottage is impossible to miss because, well, you'll see if you go there. It's pretty obvious that it belongs to someone with a certain amount of eccentricity. He's prone to wandering off into the forest. It's likely that he wandered off into the bit of forest next to his house. That's about all I can give you. This is something he does from time to time, but he usually comes back, and he hasn't.
is he lost or just not found?
Yes.
Yes. Okay.
Right.
Makes perfect sense.
What lives in the forest other than Malachi?
I mean, all manner of things. It is an extremely large forest. There are definitely dryads, although I try to avoid them because between you and me, they can be, well, they tend to have sticks up their butts. There's also a prodigious Myconid community who are lovely. Usually one or the other. They don't get on very well. And all the usual things you would expect to find in forests, you know, birds and wolves and bears and elks and snakes.
Sounds like a wonderful little trick.
Yes.
All right. Well, last question. What's the best beer you have on tap?
Did you want a breakfast beer?
Might as well, since we're here. It'd be a bit rude to leave
Excellent.
without one.
Well, it is well known that my beer is the best beer within 2 weeks in every direction on a fast horse. So,
I'm sure that's just being modest.
How many
Mostly
villages are there
because
within 2 weeks on a fast horse?
if you go 2 weeks north, you get to Elder Castle, which is the capital, and then it's just mountains. And if you go 2 weeks south, you get to Merterra, which is the basically the port city, and then it's just sea. And in either other direction, you hit either forest or mountains. So what I'm saying is my beer is the best in the land in this particular country that I know of. It's probably better than most other places.
Good to hear it.
Wonderful.
Excellent. Well, a round of beers then. That is 1 silver per beer.
I'll chuck her a cold.
Ooh, big spender. Love it.
Just one businessman helping out another.
She will present you with a round of beers. They are, in fact, spectacular.
Ah,
It's not.
wasn't
It's
lying.
not false advertising at all. This is extremely.
Lop doesn't drink.
That's fine.
Gali will
Yes.
chug hers so then she can then drink Lon's.
Did you want something else, dear?
No, that is fine.
Are you sure? Water, orange juice, pineapple juice?
Water
No?
will be fine if you insist.
Okay. She will give you some water. It's good water.
Thank
Good to stay hydrated.
you. Exactly.
It's interesting to meet you all. I have heard much of this gallant horde.
Oh,
Afraid you're being the newer bunch. I don't think many of us have done a whole lot yet. Am I wrong?
Nothing wrong with that. Everyone has to
Yeah.
start somewhere.
Exactly. It's a pleasant place, though. Pleasant jobs.
So I hear.
any expectations from us?
I expect you to succeed.
That'll happen.
Understandable.
Yes. I mean, if you expected us to fail, I'd be worried.
Indeed. No, you come with good recommendations. Your I want to say proprietor, but that's not the right word. Employer.
I mean, it's kind of right.
Your employer is rather an exceptional individual.
She is that.
That's one way of putting it.
Hmm.
Also say rather blinding this morning.
Good. That is good news.
Yeah, maybe not for my eyes, and might need to make me some sunglasses.
All in all, I think it is best for everybody that she becomes as blinding as possible.
Fair enough.
I
Alright.
like my sight.
So it's alright. If anything goes wrong, I can at least just make you some new eyes or something.
Oh, you can do that? How interesting.
Looks worried.
I mean, I probably can. I haven't tried it yet. I mean, I haven't had anyone coming up to me asking for eyes, but it sounds like a good challenge.
Yes, you sound like just the sort of person she loves.
Glad
This
to
is
hear.
Elzaren in the real.
Right, so you drink your delicious beers and water.
Do we see
Hydration
anything
acquired.
unusual while we're sitting around? Nothing out of what we'd expect?
You can make a perception check if you want.
20.
Not particularly. The clientele are pretty average folk. They tend to be it's either merchants or farmers. Like those are the two kind of people you see. You do see one group of people who are quite obviously travelers, like they have traveling clothes on. They're clearly passing through. Nothing particularly noteworthy though.
Enough. Worth paying attention to, nevertheless.
It is relatively early in the day too, so
Yeah.
it's not like you're seeing
Yeah.
the raucous lake crowd.
Yeah. I just know everyone's expectation of normal is a little different, so I just want to make sure that their version and our version are the same.
Yeah. It's no one is looking twice at the fact that you have like an Earth Genasi and a Lizardfolk and a Yuan-Ti. Like people are very like meh about that.
I do have a pretty hearty beard going.
Excellent.
It looks like he started shaving and then kind of gave up when he realized how thick it was.
Yeah. Excellent.
I would like to go up to one of the groups of farmers, like people who
Okay.
clearly look like they're locals.
Okay. Yep.
Morning, you lot. How's it going?
Oh hey, you're hi. Hi.
I am up high. It's part of having really long legs.
Yeah. That's cool. Did you make those yourself?
Kind of. Had some help. It's it takes a little bit to get these done. Also, kind of hard when you don't have arms yourself, and I take off my arm and then put it back on again.
Excellent work.
Yeah, thanks. So we're just heading off into the forest nearby. Just wondering if you'd heard anything recently, like any sort of issues, troubles, something going on around the area.
Nothing in particular. I mean, the forest, it's a big forest, you know. There's a lot of weird stuff in there. A couple of years back, there were some goblins. But
Oh,
now they're, you know, constructive members of society. They were a problem. They were stealing and stuff, but turned out that they were refugees. So once we worked that out, we, you know, came to an arrangement.
nice. Good to hear turning things around.
Yeah.
Is there
They're
anyone?
still out there, but they're nice now. They don't, you know. I mean, they were always nice. They were just, you know how it is.
Oh yeah, good to know.
Wait.
Good to know.
When
If
you're
one-
hungry, you're gonna steal some chickens. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, no, I've seen a fair few of those kind of communities, ones which don't have that much behind them, so they have to resort to whatever they can. It's a shame, but
We sorted it.
yeah, glad to hear that everything's working well. Now, is there any any sort of army or force or anything that scouts the forest or anything?
Nah,
Bet
Any-
fire up for that.
nah. We don't. We stay on the edges for the most part. We try not to interfere too much. Occasionally, if we encounter, you know, one of the folk of the forest, we're polite and we back away.
Oh, yeah?
Seems the wisest move.
So, general rule of thumb: don't be an arsehole.
I mean, isn't that just the way you should always be anyway?
It depends on the city you're at. Sometimes being an arsehole is the safest way of getting through it.
Oh, well, I'm glad it's not like that here.
Yeah, me too. Makes things a real pain in the ass. Do you know how long it takes to clean these gauntlets off? It's just horrible.
I bet.
Anyway, I'll leave you to it. Thanks for that. Have a good one.
You too.
I'll just head on back to the group and go, right, cool.
Anything useful?
Angelina's watching all this with an extremely amused look on her face.
Not particularly, just generally that there's some, there's various things out there. There's apparently a tribe of goblins or something that might be roaming around, but they're mostly friendly, so I
They
guess
are
don't
friendly
just go.
now. There was a whole situation, but it got resolved.
So, yeah, just, I guess, check your punches before you throw them.
Fair. Should we check out the house?
Yeah.
See if he left any
Good
clues.
idea.
Yeah.
That's
Maybe
it.
a
Gali.
trail we can follow.
Gali, my bad.
Yeah.
Make a insight check for me, please.
Oh, okay. Not that great at those, but I'll do one. That is a 12 plus 3, 15.
No, never mind. You're good. Continue.
Okay. Sweet as. Continue on.
Everything is as it appears.
Indeed.
So we're going to head over to the house.
Cool.
Yeah. Oh, Elzaren had asked Gali if they know of any problems in the forest. Did they mention anything about people who live there, druids or fae folk?
They basically said something along the lines of anything that appears or happens with the forest, they just steer clear, basically. Just be polite was what they said.
So don't mess with them and they won't mess with you. All right, that seems easy.
Essentially, yeah.
Let's go to this weird place that this guy lives at.
Let's do it.
All right.
Yes.
Andeline will give you directions to Malachi's house. It is right on the edge of town. Not that there's a lot of town, but, you know. So you're
it-
meandering your way there.
Yep.
Exactly so.
Mhm.
As you approach, it becomes very clear which house is his. There is this kind of quaint cottage sort of building that is like nestled into a garden that looks super overgrown, but in a way that like it's been cultivated that way. So there are huge trees and vines everywhere and like gigantic bushes of rosemary and just things of roses. And in the backyard there is a llama who is chomping on whatever he can get his teeth on. And every tree in the garden is covered in birds that are just sitting. And as you approach, they all like turn and look at you. They don't do anything. They're just there. It's a little disconcerting, but
Okay. Got a
That's
bunch of
all
birds.
different kinds of birds, like all kinds of things.
Are they making bird noises or are they quiet?
They're just sitting there looking at you.
Oh, quiet.
Okay, that's disconcerting.
Yes.
Yeah, okay.
Do they look like real birds, or do they look like
Exotic
fey
or
creatures of some sorts?
You can make a nature check.
I think I'll do that as well.
Okay.
Are these birds looking at us like we're food or like we're curiosities?
Did you say 5?
25.
Oh, 25. That makes more sense. They seem
That
like
beats me.
natural birds, apart from their behavior. Curiosity more than food. It's not aggressive. It's just like, who are these people coming down the road? Kind of vibe.
I'm just going to go up to the front door and knock real loud.
There is no response.
Worth a try.
Is the door locked?
Are you breaking into Malachi's house?
Just
Wow.
checking the door.
It is not locked.
Then I'm not breaking.
Just
I
enter.
will go inside.
The house is a mess. In the way that the house of a mad genius would be a mess. There are piles of paper and notes piled up on every surface, books everywhere. There are abandoned cups of half cups of tea in various places around the house, bookshelves to the ceiling. There's like dried herbs hanging from the roof. Like it is cluttered as hell.
Looks like home.
And all the furniture is small.
Well, this should be easy to go through.
Are any of you particularly gifted at searching for things?
Have a look.
Yes,
Good at
actually.
research and finding things and looking for things, and yeah.
I get out of the way.
Yeah. One's also going to
That's-
stand by the door and just watch the birds.
Cool.
Just to
Okay.
clarify, is the llama in the front part of the garden or the back
No, the
part of the
llama's
garden?
in the back.
Okay, cool. Just
Yeah.
clarifying.
Elzaren would go try and feed the llama.
Okay.
He has
What are
no
you feeding?
talent for anything.
What are you feeding him?
I'm just kind of trying to look around to see where the llama's been chewing on stuff and try and pick the one that looks the most interesting to feed him. Or
Make an
her.
animal handling check.
All right, hold on. Let me take my skill real quick. Oh,
Losing a finger to a friendly llama.
we'll see. Maybe. Man, 20.
The llama eats whatever you offer him. Seems happy with it.
Mara
And
did
does it-
give us a picnic basket, so maybe something from here.
Like, okay, I guess I'll try the muffin that I didn't eat yet.
The llama
And
eats
offer it.
the muffin and seems to enjoy it.
Excellent. Does and it's just kind of staring. It's a normal herd animal, or does it seem wild?
No, it seems like it lives there. Seems
Like
pretty
a-
tame.
All right. All
I
right.
look
Is
around
there?
through. Oh, go ahead.
No, go ahead.
I was just gonna ask if I could look around through any of the piles of notes to see if I can't figure out what he might have been working on.
Yeah.
Sure.
Yep, I'm going to do the same. Can I use my
I
passive
also do the
investigation
same?
to do so?
You trying to
Oh.
indigo me, Jamie?
Well, just yeah, I don't know because I have a passive investigation of 21.
Maybe. Roll it and see what you get.
Righto. Okay. Okay, that's a 11 plus my 6, so that's 17.
Okay. What did you get?
I got a natural 20 plus 7, so 27.
Nice.
Woohoo!
Nathir? How do you say your name?
Nathir.
Nathir.
And this is an investigation check, correct?
Correct.
All right. Not as good as those. Just an 11.
Okay. Are you looking for anything in particular?
Looking for the spots that are the cleanest because they've been had the most use.
Oh, very clever. Okay.
Most recent.
There is a big comfy armchair where, like, the tables beside it are covered in stuff, and there are several. I was going to say dead cups of tea, but you know what I mean, like cups that have been used and not cleaned up. But the chair itself is empty, which suggests that he sits on it a lot. But there's also a lot of, like, there are places where he's clearly just shoved stuff aside to, you know. Generally, the vibe you get from looking through his notes, the three of you, is that he is interested in a lot of things. That he is one of these people who is constantly like, oh, this is interesting, and he pursues it for a while, and then he gets distracted and pursues something else for a while. There are a lot of notes on a thing called a ring of retrieval, which none of you have ever heard of. There is a lot of notes on, like, herbs and the different things that herbs can do, and like combining herbal medicine with arcane magic and how that might work. Like, that seems to be a big thing of his, is taking, like, natural magics and combining them with the arcane and experimenting with that combination. He has a lot of notes on the creatures of the forests and obscure exotic flora, like plants and things that might exist in it deep down, where people, like, deep in the forest where people don't usually go. He has notes on having had discussions with the Myconids that live there. He also writes in multiple languages. If you give me a sec, I'll tell you which ones. So some of it is written in Druidic. So if you don't read Druidic, you can't read those bits. Some of it is written in Gnomish. Some of it is written in Sylvan. Some of it is written in Common. He clearly speaks multiple languages and frequently code switches between them. This is someone with a genius but rather unfocused mind, is the vibe you get. So it's very difficult to distinguish one particular thing he was pursuing at the time of his disappearance.
Okay. Does he have a desk or anything?
The whole house appears to be his desk.
Right, okay. In that case, I'm going to look in the kitchen to see if it's been recently, like, used and such, and try to determine how long was since last time it was used.
Your what's your passive? Tell me your passive again. 22 or something?
21.
21. Okay. Yep. So you look through the kitchen. It clearly is usually well used, but hasn't been used for like a month.
Okay, right. I just call back out to the rest of the party going, yeah, he hasn't been here for about a month, I'd guess.
You do notice that all the dishes are done. in the kitchen. Like, he's abandoned cups of tea everywhere, but he's clearly made an effort to clean up the kitchen before he left. So it's not like he was abducted. Like, there's some indication that he left on purpose, but he forgot about all the cups that he had. Like, he cleaned what he could see. He was like, I should clean the kitchen, and he cleaned what he could see, but he didn't go looking, We've all done
Gali
it.
feels a little bit less anxious by standing in the
Yeah.
kitchen.
Do I see any teacups that look like they were in the silent image that the lady showed us of him?
There are all kinds of teacups. Like there are cute little ones with flowers on them. There are like gigantic mugs. It's like people bring him maybe teacups when they get advice from him as a present. All kinds of different things. The one in the picture the one in the image she showed was just like a generic teacup. It was the idea of a teacup rather than a specific one.
Okay.
She gets
I'm
used
just
to
gonna pick
seeing
up
him
a
with a
random
teacup
then.
in her hand, but it's not. Yeah.
Okay.
Like he has a favorite. He just uses whichever one is closest.
Does he have like a separate bedroom?
I mean, yeah, let's say yes.
Okay. So, want to check in there to see if he's left any notes or evidence there.
So the bedroom is much the same as the rest of the house. Every surface is covered in books and things. His bed looks like sometimes he pushes the books aside to sleep on it. But you get the vibe that he probably also sleeps in his armchair a lot or wherever he happens to be. It's just as messy and just as full of books and notes and notebooks and yeah.
All right.
Oh,
Well, in that
okay.
case, I'm going to start casting a detect magic ritual in the house.
Okay.
Which is basically me just going, all right, this is just a pain in the ass. I pull out like this little metal visor, put it on, and then start connecting it to the wires in my things like that, and that's my ritual for casting detect magic.
All right. Is anyone doing anything during the 10 minutes that this will take?
Yeah.
Lon is outside. Actually, go first because you're inside. We'll get back to the outside gang.
I was just going to look for a little thermos and make some tea. And then
Okay.
I'm going to take 2 mugs with me.
Okay. I mean, he probably has a few floating around because he goes on trips into the forest a lot. So, you can do that easily enough.
Okay.
Nathir, did you have something you wanted to do inside before we go outside
I'd
again?
like to go. No, not inside, but I'd like to go outside and just have a look around, see if we can find any sign of any trail. It's been a month, so I don't expect to find much. But
I mean, there is a path that leads to the front gate. There is a front gate that you came through. It's very cute. And there is like a path that leads off into the forest where obviously he's done this a few times. Like it's a what they call a desire path. You know what I'm talking about? Where it's just
well worn.
it's
Okay.
happened. Yeah.
Mhm.
All right, outdoor crew, Lon.
Right. Seeing that the llama is relatively friendly, Lon's going to cast Speak with Animals on himself and go up to the llama. And to anyone that doesn't speak animal, it'll just sound like Lon starts honking. Whatever sound llamas make.
Yep.
And he'll go to the llama's like, "Excuse me." May I ask a
Oh, hey.
question?"
Hello. Wow, it's been a while since anyone did that. How you doing?
Hi.
Hi.
We're looking for Malachi. Is he your boss?
Friend.
Friend?
Yes. He does this too. He can talk to me. It's great. It's been a while. I've been a bit lonely. The birds are boring.
How long has it been since you've seen them? Would you say
Many meals.
many meals? Do you know what he was? Did he tell you what he was doing before he left?
Oh, he was muttering about some flower he needed.
Okay. Some flower. Did he describe this flower to you?
Yes, he did. But there was a rather delicious pile of leaves at the time, so I wasn't completely paying attention. I think he said it was red.
Right. Does he usually go to these trips alone, or does he take someone with him?
Who would he take?
I don't know, perhaps another animal?
Nah, he just goes off and then he comes back. and then he mutters for like 3 weeks, and then he goes again. Sometimes he remembers to feed me, sometimes I just eat his rosemary bush.
Understandable. Are you still hungry?
I'm okay. There's a lot of food in this garden.
That's good. So he went off hunting for a red flower. Anything else you remember?
I think I might have been a person once.
Okay. How long ago?
A long time.
Do you want to be a person again?
Oh god, no. People are no. All that concern in your brain and thinking about things that are not. Nah, being a llama is awesome. I'm gonna stick to being an llama. Thanks, though.
Oh, okay. I can understand the sentiment.
You people have so many thoughts all the time. It's exhausting.
Is there anything you would like us to do for you while we're here? Perhaps water?
Well, I do have this itch I can't reach right on my back. Could you take care of that for me?
Sure. Long guys like scratch the back.
To the left, to the left. Oh yeah, there, right there.
Yeah,
Yeah.
no issues.
You all watch Lon give this llama scritches, and the llama's like, oh yeah.
I appreciate your help. What is your... I forgot. Do you have a name?
Yeah, I'm Dave.
Dave.
That's why I think I might have been a person, because that's not really a llama name. That's a person name. Dave.
What's a llama name then?
I don't know.
Cusco.
I've never met any other llamas, so I'm not sure. But Dave doesn't seem like a llama name, right?
I don't know. Never made it out of llama.
Mm.
Well, I appreciate your help, Dave.
I
And I
appreciate the scritches, lizard guy.
You're welcome. He turns to the birds. How did they what are they doing right now?
They're just watching you. They're all just sitting there watching you.
And there's like an assortment of forest birds, right? With
Yeah.
like owls and whatever.
All sorts of things. Yep.
He turns to the birds, and he starts like again. Now he switched from like llama sounds to like birds squawking and tweeting or whatever. Like anyone that doesn't understand what he's saying. And he says, bird group. Can I ask some questions?
They kind of all look at each other, and then one raven flies down and lands on a convenient branch or rock or something, and goes,
If he
Yeah,
needs
what's
someone
up?
to land, he would put out his arm if he wants to land on it.
"Yeah, whatever." What's up,
When was the last time you saw Malachi?
Malachi, little gnome? The
Yes,
food. He hasn't
Yes.
been in a while.
I have gathered. But do you know which way he went?
He went into the forest. He went deeper than we go.
Deeper
We
than
followed
you
for
go.
a bit because, he feeds us. He's nice. As far as you bipeds go.
How long were you following him for? Do you remember?
Oh, maybe a week.
So he
Then we
went on.
decided to stop.
So he walked for a week into the forest.
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, not like all at once. He kind of meanders, and then he stops and he stares at a plant for a while. It's a bit weird. He didn't go in a straight line. He just kind of wandered around for a bit, and then he decided to go further in, and we thought we'd just wait because there are things that eat us. So we were like,
What things?
things that eat birds,
Okay, nothing. It's not like there's something unusual in that part of the forest. It's just things that eat birds.
I mean, I suppose it depends what you think of as unusual. The forest is a bit unusual at a certain point.
Go
the
on.
trees get testy.
The trees get testy.
Mm.
What does that
And when-
mean?
And when you, if you'll forgive my phrasing, when you shit on them, they fling you across the clearing on a regular basis. If you pick the wrong tree. Whatcha! It like does that with its wing. You get a very clear indication that the tree is like.
That's unusual tree behavior.
Yeah. So we don't go there due to the flinging and the eating.
And which direction is this part of the forest from this house?
That way. It points with its wing towards the path that is clearly going into the forest.
All right. Well, would you like something to eat?
Sure.
Lon pulls out a fruit from Mara's picnic basket and just gives it to, just holds it out for the raven.
It will eat it. You don't have any eyeballs, do you?
Let me check. I presume there are no eyeballs in Mara's basket.
Assume not. It's been such a long
Unfortunately
time
not.
since I've had a good eyeball.
Unfortunately not. Have you tried hunting for something?
Well, we're not really. We're more the pick the eyeballs out after someone else has hunted it way of doing things. You know.
Well, if I see something that's worth hunting on my path, I will bring it back.
Excellent. Eyeballs.
I appreciate your help.
Excellent.
And Long pulls the he lets a raven go off, and you come back to Elzaren and it's like, well, since Malachi went looking for a flower, and a red flower, and there's a part of the forest that has trees which sweep birds away.
A lot of information for just a few squawks and like that weird noise you're making for the llama. Good job. Good job. Yeah, it is. It seems like he was making the same noise back. I kind of gathered, but interesting persuasion tactic of scratching his back. That seemed to do. He seemed to like that.
It is a small thing.
It is.
Shall we report to the rest?
Yeah, I think we should. I think you got a lot of good info. We'll see what they got. They probably at least have as much as we do.
Mm-hmm. So
Sorry,
we'll go
did
back
you
onto
want
the-
to do something before we got sidetracked by llamas and ravens?
Oh yeah, sorry.
Or has it been covered now? Matt? Elzaren?
Sorry, I forgot. I was trying to remember what I was trying to do. I was actually going to search the trees and shrubs and see if he has cut any herbs or flowers like before he left. Like if he cleared all the rose bushes or took all the rosemary or something like that.
There's nothing obvious like that. Like
Okay.
he clearly used. It's clearly a used garden. Like it's not, but it also hasn't been used in a month. So.
But yeah, but he didn't like clear the wolves bane out or something like that.
No, nothing like that. Nothing obviously like I am going to go fight werewolves. No.
Yeah.
Did any
Just
of the
double
notes,
check.
did any of the
We lost you.
Oh,
Oh no,
Mm.
we've lost Brandon. Anyone
No.
else while Brandon sorts his whatever's going on there? Oh, you're
Oh, you
back.
got it.
Yes.
did any of the notes that we went through have anything about red flowers?
Make a. What was your investigate? Well, make an investigation check now that you know about the red flowers. I guess.
So my wonderful 27 doesn't carry over. All right. 17.
There are amongst his notes a couple of references to a red flower, which he calls the what does he call it? Fuck, it's gone out of my brain now. Something of forgetting, and it's like the opposite of a forget me not.
Remember me
And-
always.
And
It's a forget me.
it's like a poppy. It's not a poppy. I can't remember now, but it's a flower of forgetting. And it is a small like red flower that looks kind of like a daisy, but it has blood red petals. And it is used for like potions that will allow you to retrieve memories from people and take them away. That seems to be what he was working on. Something to do with that. But he couldn't locate the flower. So he was going to look for it.
How accurate is the description, and is there a drawing of this flower? Like,
There is a drawing.
Okay, give me a second here. I have an idea. I just want to check something before I open my mouth.
It was a flower beginning with F because I made it alliterate, and now I can't fucking remember what it was. Anyway, doesn't matter.
All right.
The fuchsia?
Fuchsia forgetting. Sure, let's go with that.
Actually, is Gali still casting Detect Magic?
Oh
She does
yeah,
that.
that's probably done by now. Gali, there are many magical things in this cottage. Many of all. There are trinkets galore.
Oh dear. Okay.
He clearly has collected a lot of random shit, and much of it is magic.
Right. Okay. Well, she's just going to start going around and looking at them one by one to see, like, what's this one and what's this one? Is this of any worth? Like, trying to find anything that would, like, hopefully a book or something like that would give information rather than just say, like, a ring.
There are loads of. It's again. It has the distinct vibe that people have brought him things.
Mm.
Like there are all sorts of trinkets. There are amulets that do all kinds of stuff. There are things that are like magical, but they're just kind of fun magic. Like there's a little elephant that is enchanted to do a little like dance across the thing and trumpet at the end. You know, stuff like that. And then there's also like rings of invisibility and that kind of thing. There is no magical book.
Okay.
The books
right.
are all mundane, which is a little weird.
Gali's just going to walk back into the main room with her weird visor thing on and just looking around going, yeah, there's a lot of magical stuff, but I don't think anything that'll be of use to us.
Okay.
With a varying degree of rarity, and like some of them are, you know, and power. It's very varied. It's very eclectic.
May I see the notes on this flower? So Long will take the notes and study them for a bit. Make sure he's got the description right, and then he's going to use this to cast Locate Animals and Plants.
Far does that go?
What's that, sorry?
How far does it go?
5 miles.
You do not get a ping.
Ooh.
If it was that easy, he would have done it himself.
Yeah, but what
We don't know.
doesn't know that. I was like,
This is
this
a good
is
idea.
let's go next
But yeah,
step.
no, there is no flower of this kind within 5
Hmm.
miles of this cottage.
As he casts the spell, he kind of fizzles out. He's like, So he's gone. He turns to everyone else. So he's gone at least for a week walking before the birds stop following him. Deep into the forest, and it's been at least 5 miles. So we've got the trek ahead of us if we're going to find him. We should probably get moving.
Yeah.
Let's do it.
Let's go.
Let's hope he was taking his time when he went for a week's travels. If he's running hard, it's going to be a good distance.
They clearly told you that he was meandering, that it
Yeah,
wasn't.
like,
He wasn't
But I
like
don't know that.
Wandering about.
Cool. All right.
So
We'll take the path.
yeah,
All right.
take the path deep
So
into the
you-
forest.
Go into the forest. The path is quite clear for some distance, and then it starts to get less clear. Where obviously he has done this a lot, but there has reached a point where he veers off depending on what he's after. If you want to see if you can find tracks, you can do survival checks and so on. I don't know.
Sure.
Any of your bird friends still around there, Lonthrefoa?
It'll probably be more than 10 minutes. I presume that,
Yeah,
well, this spell will have worn off by now, and the birds, I don't know what the birds are doing.
there are birds. They may or may not be the same birds. You don't know, unless you were specifically paying attention to whether the birds followed you.
He was not.
No.
And it's been more than 10 minutes, I presume, so the
Yeah.
spell's worn off.
Yeah, definitely.
19
Yeah,
for
no.
survival.
19.
Mm-hmm.
Can anyone beat 19?
Does 8 beat 19?
It does not.
Neither does 16, apparently.
There are definitely tracks. They're quite old. And you can see that there are multiple sets of these tracks. Like he has obviously done this walk a few times. And it seems quite clear that nobody else uses this path, or very few people use this path. They're all very clearly the same guy. The most recent ones carry on deeper into the forest.
And I just point in the direction. I think these are the most recent tracks, but it looks like he's explored all over this area. He's combed through this place quite a bit. The newest, relatively speaking, tracks are this direction. And he'll gesture where he thinks that is.
Shall we follow those?
Now that they've been pointed out, are they easier to see and follow?
I mean, sure. Yep. Once they're pointed out to you, you can be like, oh yeah, those are definitely the ones that we should be
that
following.
makes sense.
Yeah.
Sweet. Kathris will head off in that direction.
All right.
Keep
You
on
follow
marching.
these tracks for a fairly decent distance. Like you're walking probably for a good 40 minutes, and you come to a campsite. Which now that we have tech support, I actually have a map for this. So, hello tech support, welcome back.
Waves
So-
that tech support.
Drop you here. It is clearly abandoned, but there is clearly a campsite. There is a campfire that hasn't been used in a while, a couple of tents.
It just looked like bigger than for more than one person.
Adam.
Yeah. But it looks like more than one
Yes.
person camped here.
Yes, it does.
Mm,
There are more than one tent, yes.
I don't know, maybe he travels in style.
I mean,
It's
you can look
creepy
inside the
these
tents
tents
if you
look
want.
like they're full.
Yeah,
There's
like,
Might be a
those are-
washing tent and a meditation tent, and then where he goes to sleep and entertain. I don't know. I've seen weirder. But yeah, well, Elzaren will start kind of glancing into all the tents real quick, kind of trying to check out the vibe of the place. If it's military, if it's people more leisurely or something like that.
So, two of the tents are clearly there just to protect the papers from the rain. They are full of books and notes and stuff. The other tent has like a bedroll and so on, which hasn't been slept in a while. And also still notes and whatnot.
This is definitely his.
Yeah.
Is the bedroll gnome sized?
Yes, it is. There are three empty cups that probably held tea at some point in this tent.
I wonder if this is
Um,
his base camp.
I would like to have a look around for anything that seems non-know-me.
Okay. Make an investigation check, I guess.
Ooh. Investigation for +0, 16.
The camp itself is quite clearly all know-me. However, you do see several prints of large animals around like the edge. There is next to the fire a like track of something very big that has slept by this fire. When it was a fire, it's not a fire anymore.
Are
Elzaren
there
will kind of.
any animals watching us?
You can make a perception check if you wish.
That
Elzaren
is a
wants to.
22.
Wow, nice.
Mhm.
Yes, you can see just inside the tree line a very large deer watching you.
He's just watching us.
Yep.
Not doing.
Just like,
I was just gonna stare back at it. Like, I know that you know.
it just stares right back.
Kill it. He'll open his mouth. There's a deer watching. So you let everyone know.
Is it a suspicious deer?
I don't know. Is the deer suspicious?
Is it
Wants
aggressive?
to insight check the deer.
Yeah.
That is a 11.
No, seems like a totally legit deer. Nothing suspicious to see here.
Okay.
Suspicious.
Not suspicious deer.
Just standing there staring at you.
It's not eating or anything, it's just watching.
Correct.
This is unusual deer behavior. Would Lon know if this is unusual deer behavior?
Make a nature check.
That is a crooked dice. So that again, that's better. 24.
a little weird.
It's not immediately suspicious. It behaves weird, though.
Hey, dear, what do you want?
Just stares at you.
Wow. Not only is it just staring, it's also not answering. This is a really rude deer.
Maybe it doesn't speak common.
Have you searched the tents?
Yes, they
Perhaps more notes about this flower.
Uh,
Or the
to
flapping trees.
be perfectly honest, I didn't read anything. I will have summoned my spear into my hand, and I will
Okay.
be looking at the deer. How hungry are we?
Elzaren will say, "Be nice. We don't know if that's somebody's pet. We're in the forest now. There might be creatures that might resent us messing with their stuff."
Yeah,
And
it's
that
true.
deer seems a bit weird. He doesn't seem more
It-
unafraid of us than he should be.
There was also mention of dryads and such, and they usually, I mean, I'm not that well knowledgeable about this kind of stuff, but nature of things usually don't like you fucking up their nature.
Unnecessarily.
Big up their nature.
I mean, if you are hungry, we have baskets and bread. At this point, Lon pulls out a bannock and just starts eating it.
That's fair.
Looking noticeably disappointed, I will unsummon the spear.
Adam says your glee is showing.
I haven't written numbers on the side of the deer.
Elzaren's going to try to walk around the perimeter, see if he can find any more tracks from this. No tracks in particular, but anything also super strange for a forest.
Make a survival check, please.
Weird. All right. That is going to be 20.
Yeah, there are loads of weird tracks. There are bear tracks, there are wolf tracks, there are slithery snake tracks. All sorts of things that apparently
Nope.
have come to visit.
But do I see any gnomish tracks? Recent ones? Well, relatively recent.
I mean, in and out of this camp a lot, yes. There are
Yeah.
loads of, like, he's clearly come and gone. What did you roll? Tell me again.
20.
20. You can probably tell that there are a couple more recent ones that head deeper into the forest.
And I will point these out to anyone who's not actively searching the books. You know, these are the more recent trails. There's a couple of them here that are gnomish, but it seems like every creature in the forest has been here at some point. Snakes, bears, all kinds of creatures. I wonder if he's been doing that thing you did with the llama, just talking to the animals to see if they know where this flower is. Maybe he's interviewing here, trying to get info.
Perhaps he is a druid and can change shape.
That will make tracking him harder then. There's so many shapes here. I don't even, without knowing what he transformed into, knowing how many animals come through here. I mean, it could be any of these things. There's countless tracks here.
I think this plan, find the flower. Find the
Gali's
flower,
good.
find him.
Those of you who looked at his notes, make an intelligence check for me. So the 3 who were inside looking at his...
Wait, all the notes or just the flower notes?
No, the 3 people who were inside, like, going through his crap.
All of them, yeah.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
So Gali, and Nathir, I think, were the 3 who did that.
15.
I'm using my inspiration to re-roll that, and that is a intelligence 22.
Okay. While you don't speak Druidic, you can probably recognize that it was Druidic, and the fact that he speaks Druidic suggests that he probably has some Druid going on.
Gali's going to point at the deer and go, "You! Are you a druid?"
The deer does not respond.
What happens?
Do we know if a druid would be able to respond while there is a deer?
Depends on the
Huh?
druid.
Oh, God damn it.
Oh dear.
Elzaren will try to approach the deer and see how it reacts as he cautiously approaches. He'll even have a little bit of food in his hand.
So you're approaching in a nice way. It does
Yeah.
not react. It just stands there and watches you come up to it, which is definitely weird behavior for a deer.
Yeah, Elzaren's hunted a bit. This is very weird for him. So But he'll just be.
It's just staring at you.
He puts his hand out with the food in it not in its face, but close to where it can get to it.
Make a persuasion check.
All right, that's actually something I can do. So all right, cool.
Apologies, I'll be back in a moment.
No worries. Hopefully things will go well or be on fire by the time you get back. 19.
19. Yeah, the deer eats the food
Mm-hmm.
and then snuffles around when it runs out, and then just stares at you some more.
Does it allow me to pet it in any place?
Yeah.
Like, yeah. Can you do that thing you did with the llama? This deer seems to know something. I know that sounds strange when I said it, but it definitely seems to have a purpose here, and I don't know. I don't have those abilities.
I had thought. And then Lon casts Speak with Animals on himself again, and he's going to talk to the deer.
Excellent.
Excuse me.
Yes, hi. Hello.
Why are you standing here watching us?
Because you're interfering with my friend's things.
Ah, so you know Malachi. But no.
Yes, we all know Malachi.
When was the last time you saw him? We are searching for him.
Ah, he went to the pond. We don't go to the pond. And
The
then he
pond?
didn't return. Yes, there is a pond.
Where is this pond?
It is that way. She kind of gestures with her deer nose.
How far away would you say it is?
It would take me perhaps an hour
Okay.
if I ran.
Have you noticed anything unusual in the forest lately?
Yes, no, creatures that go to the pond sometimes do not return. Or when they do, they are discombobulated.
How discombobulated?
They have forgotten who they are.
They have
Or
been
they're confused.
ensorcelled.
They have been ensorcelled.
Ensorcelled, you say?
She does not say that. Kathris might say that, but it doesn't.
Well, that is very useful information.
They often have lost time.
Lost time.
Yes, they go and they return and they say, it is good that, and they've been gone for a week, but they don't know that it's a week.
So to them it feels like a couple of hours.
Indeed.
But they'll be gone
Yes,
much longer.
yes.
Interesting. Curious. Does this sound like Fae nonsense to Lon?
I mean, you can make a history check, I guess.
He's got advantage on those now because he finished the book literally
You read the book.
yesterday.
It's a Fae book.
Elzaren will
Good
just
to
be
read
petting
it.
the deer.
That's a
the
1
entire
and a
time.
2.
What?
Not bad, but he's this other dice.
Inspiration.
Inspiration.
Yeah, I had to switch inspiration before that using. That's much better. That's a 17, 18.
18. Yeah, I mean, losing time is definitely potentially Fae bullshit. That is a well-known Fae bullshit thing. But it usually is people, not animals, that happens to in your experience or in what you've read. But yeah, like time fuckery definitely could be Fae.
Understood. Very well. Thank you, dear, for your information.
Oh, you're welcome, darling.
Lon pulls out something else from the picnic basket and just gives it to the deer.
What is it?
Assorted fruit from the picnic
Okay.
basket, I
That
guess.
the deer will eat happily.
And he's gonna go back. He's gonna turn to Elzaren and tell them that, yep, this seems like Malachi has gone further inside, and he's gone to a pond that's causing people to lose their memory and whatnot. He's not going to say anything about the Fae bullshit, though.
Yeah.
That's his suspicion. He hasn't confirmed anything.
Will the path that Lonthrefoa? I'm trying to mess up your name. I'm sorry.
Just tell you can say
Lonthrefoa.
like it's fine.
Yeah. But if any of the paths that Elzaren noticed head towards the direction he indicated the pond is.
Yep. And one of the more recent ones, yes.
Yeah.
Definitely seems to be going that way.
Now we have a path and a destination.
If
Good
we
job.
And
if we're searching, well, if Malachi is searching for a flower that causes people to forget things, would it not be a fairly reasonable assumption that it may grow near the pond that is causing animals to forget things?
It
As
would.
well.
Kathris wanders off in the direction of the pond.
Okay, Lon's gonna check on the team that was on the rest of the team that was checking inside the tent to see if they found anything. So
Were you looking, or were you just having a? Oh yeah, a bunch of notes. That's
I
a
don't know,
question
what was it?
for
What,
people.
yeah, what was the
People
team
who were
doing?
looking in the tents. What were you? How were you looking? Tell me about your methods.
would be looking for notes for anything that's talking about red flowers. Just again, anything random that mentions flowers.
In that case, make an investigation check for me, please.
All right. 11.
There's a lot of notes about a lot of things. It's overwhelming. Was anyone else looking in the tent? Or are you just gonna mosey on over to the pond?
I
Before
was
we go to
outside
the
yelling
pond-
at deer.
Okay.
Before we go to the pond, if it was mentioned that that's where he went to, and people forget when they go there, I would say, so has rope. Need rope, maybe. Yes, rope. Have rope?
I don't think we have rope long enough to get to the pond from here.
Not
Maybe-
not to
maybe
get to
around
rope,
each
not to
other.
get the pond. Just have rope.
I have rope.
Yes.
I have rope and chain if we want something a little bit stronger.
He's just gonna start tying the ends of all the ropes together. Where there's 6 of us, so that's a 300-foot length of
300,
rope.
yep. Give or
And
take
he's
some
going
knots,
to
yep.
tie it around one person's waist.
Who are you tying it around?
Elzaren will volunteer. Just-
Okay.
He's gonna see what
Doesn't care.
doing here.
He's gonna tie the other end around his waist. Um,
The rest of you jump rope. Let's go. No.
Athletics
we
check.
get close. One of us goes in, the other doesn't. And if I forget, or you forget, we can pull you out.
Now, if some of us start to feel the effects, we won't wander off or get lost. That's a good idea.
Right, I'll take the back then. I can be the anchor in
Okay.
case we need to start pulling.
So you're all tying yourselves to each other? Is that what's going on right now?
I think we
I
can
just
wait till we get a little closer before we start tying ourselves to each other.
How do we know when we're there? I mean,
Yeah, I was just
It's
tying
like
2
just
people
quite a
together.
way away.
Okay.
Because that way you have somebody that's 300 feet away from the lake.
I see. Okay. So
So-
and Elzaren are tied together with 300 feet of rope.
Mhm.
As you walk through a forest full of trees and undergrowth and branches and bushes and other things that rope snags on.
Yep,
Yeah.
Am I understanding what is going on here?
I believe that is what is happening. Yes.
Cool.
Wonderful.
So, and
Sorry,
then-
what was your dump stat again?
Charisma.
Are you sure? Okay.
how far apart are you two walking with this immense amount of rope between you?
Well, I would assume that we're walking pretty close to each other until we get to
Okay.
where we can
So,
see
so you're
the lake
carrying
from the
most of
distance.
the rope. It's not just
Yes.
dragging along behind you. Okay, cool.
Correct.
Good. Because that would
Probably
have
have it
slowed
wrapped
everyone
around over
down.
my shoulders multiple times.
Cool. Excellent. Okay.
Oh,
Who is
do something
leading this
similar.
journey? Kathris.
Yeah.
Here's
Make
a.
a surv-
Okay, sorry. I
Yes.
was gonna say. Oh, I was gonna just tell the group. If we're worried about being exposed to something, I could send something ahead. But the problem is when I'm seeing through its eyes, I'm kind of blind and deaf, and I don't know what's going on. But I could kind of send my echo ahead, maybe 1,000 feet tops.
Seems like a good plan. We can just carry you.
Yeah, we could carry him.
I mean,
You
I
were on
can
swap with rope,
talk, I
and,
just can't see or hear. And so, while I'm looking ahead, I can still talk to you and tell you what I'm seeing through my echo, but I can't see. The real me can't see anything or hear anything. So
How easy is it to call you back?
just takes a second. I can just turn it off if I need to, or I don't know. I mean, I can still get a sense of touch. If you tap me on the shoulder 2 or 3 times, I might realize I need to stop doing that. If we could work a signal, I wouldn't be able to hear you talk, so I'd just be speaking if we need to. I mean, we don't need to do that now. I'm just saying if we're worried about something dangerous ahead, that's something I can do.
How long can you do that for?
I mean, I can. It's the effect only lasts maybe a couple minutes, but I can do it as often as I like.
Perhaps we walk till we see something that's
Yeah, I just wanted
maybe
to.
cause for concern.
I just wanted to say it now, just so we all knew that if we need to make a plan later, just something so that a resource we can all use. Anyway,
Good to know.
Wonderful.
So
Having-
if you
Having
are
been told that it's like an hour away for a fast deer,
Yep.
Kathris sets a pretty swift pace.
excellent. Make a survival check for me, please.
Let's get lost. 15.
Okay. I mean, the tracks are pretty obvious. Malachi wasn't really hiding his progress. So you can follow it along. You'll walk through the forest for a good hour and a half. And then you begin to notice that there's a lot less bird call. There's been a lot of, rustling of animals and birds chirping and all that jazz. It all goes away. And it becomes very, very quiet.
Long would like to check the trees to see how not shat upon they are. Because he remembers what the bird said.
Make a perception check.
That's a net 20, holy crap. Or 20
There is
total.
no bird shit anywhere.
A nat 20 for looking for bird shit.
Yep.
Amazing.
Yep.
Dungeons and Dragons, ladies and gentlemen. It's
Checks
very
out.
clean.
He mentions this that the trees are clean. Perhaps these are the slap trees.
The slap trees.
Be careful around them.
And I look for, as dryads were mentioned,
Mhm.
and I look for any signs of dryads, because they would be fey creatures, right?
They would. Yes.
Right.
What constitutes a side of a dryad? What are
Well,
you
just-
looking for?
Anything that might make me think of dryad tree or dryad home or
Make a, I guess, investigation check.
okie dokie. And that is a 26.
Dryads are. You can get dryads in any kind of tree, so there's no a particular tree denotes. Aha, dryads are here.
No, but maybe certain looks of types of trees or.
But you would know that dryads are very in tune with nature, and that this whole no animals thing does not line up with what you would know of dryad areas. They would be full of birds and have lots of different animals around. because they're part of like that kind of ecosystem situation. So they wouldn't this like unnatural quiet does not indicate that there are dryads. In fact, it indicates the opposite. That there are probably not dryads in this area.
Okay.
Is it damp around here? Like humid?
Not particularly. It has that like cool of being in a forest, but it's not humid, no.
Okay.
I will summon my halberd and kind of just keep going in the same direction. Just keep on keeping on.
All right. Eventually, after another maybe 30, 40 minutes, you come to the edge of a clearing, and in the center of the clearing, there is, in fact, a big, beautiful, very still pond. And as you enter the clearing, we're going to take a break because things are about to get interesting. So we are going to take a break. We are going to. It looks like Bazley. So Tess has won the potion of meat curing, cure meat cure potion. That thing, potion of biltong. And our giveaway today is for something. I think it's stickers, Redbubble stickers. I'm pretty sure. Adam will fill you in when he does the marbles. I forgot to write it down. The other thing I really want you to know about is that our very own Griffin, who plays Elena, has just started a Kickstarter for a really awesome little paint caddy thing, which is super cool. It's like a watercolor travel set that you can like take your paints with you everywhere you go. So go and check that out during the break when you're not playing marbles with Adam. And we will be back in 10-15 minutes to see what's up with this pond. See you soon. Don't go anywhere. So, humans of the internet, welcome back to the Gallant Horde. We are playing the Lost Hermit, and these lovely people have managed to find a strange pond in the middle of the forest. Why is it showing the wrong thing? Please hold while I move you to the right place. There we go. And it is very quiet. There are no animals, there are no birds, there's just a pond that is very still and clear. What would you like to do?
Elzaren will summon his echo.
Okay.
Just out of reflex. This is creeping him out a little too much.
Nathir will also summon a fin, just in case, because this is quite creepy.
Is that your snake?
Yes, that's the snake.
Excellent. Your snake is there already.
I will cast Pass Without Trace.
Cool.
Gali's going to cast See Invisibility.
Okay.
Lon isn't going to do shit. He's just going to watch.
You do not see anything invisible.
I'm going to move to kind of the edge of the trees as quietly as I am able to.
So if you're being sneaky, can you roll some sneak for me, please?
I'm gonna have my echo move closer to the pond very openly, just to kind of hopefully be a little more distracting, because it still makes noise and stuff. It doesn't talk, and also so that we could all see what happens if we're really close to the pond.
What's yours?
Dirty 20 for sneaky.
Okay. Your echo approaches the pond and nothing happens.
I mean, it seems like nothing jumped out and grabbed it. It's a good sign, at least. Malachi's probably intact, or at least a better sign. Malachi's still intact. Do you want me to see through his eyes and see what's in the pond?
Yes.
All right.
Good idea.
Don't draw on my face while I do this. Elzaren will kind of close his eyes and see through the echo. And he can see and hear through the echo and what it's perceiving, and it will try to look into the pond and perceive what's around it.
Make a perception check, please.
Of course.
Echo perception check? I assume it's just your perception.
Yeah, it has the same stats as me. Not too bad. 18.
He looks into the pond and he sees his own reflection looking back at him.
but you can't see into the pond at all. It's just like a mirror.
Yep.
I'll be saying this out loud. I'm just like the pond is just like it's just perfectly reflective. I can't see into it at all somehow, and I'll try to adjust the echo to see if you can get any like see through the water at all.
As he moves around, it's very like at first glance it looks like it's reflecting, the trees around it and the sky and so on in a way that you would expect for water, but as he looks closer, it's very clearly reflecting, and he can't look into the water.
Okay, I'm gonna have my echo stick his hand into the water to see what happens.
Bloop, bloop.
Just
Goes
feels
into
wet.
the water. Yep.
All right, I let them
Great
know this
ripples.
as well,
It does ripple. Yep.
but still
gonna
perfectly
summon his
mirrored.
weapon and then ask Pathor, can you send the echo underwater?
Yeah. That doesn't really, as far as I know, need to breathe. I can put it in there if you want it to walk in.
Perhaps a way to see inside.
Oh shoot! You wouldn't be able to. I have to. Sorry, I have to unsummon it temporarily so I can actually hear you speak.
Yep. Do you have to
So-
unsummon it or just stop looking through its eyes? Are those?
Oh no! Wait, it's within 30 feet of me right now. I can stop looking through its eyes. If it gets beyond 30 feet, then I have to
then you
unsummon it.
Yeah.
So it's right now right at the edge of that, so I can probably bounce in and out. So I tell him if I do this, I won't be able to pull out of it. It'll just vanish if I do so. So I will go in. I will put him in the pond and see what happens.
All right. So he goes under the water. And at first it's very much like being underwater, and then he realizes that he can see himself underwater, looking back at him, or you, I guess, can see
Yeah.
yourself looking back at you. This black and white version of you. And then the reflection comes at him. I need you to make a dexterity saving throw for me, please.
Okay. Not one of my better abilities, but let's see if the dice are with me. All right, that's a decent roll. What is? I actually have to look that up. That's going to be a 16.
That's exactly what you needed. So you managed to kind of dodge as the reflection comes at you.
Wait,
And then as you look around, it's just water again. There's nothing in
I
this
lied.
pond.
It's 15.
Oh, then
It's
that's
15.
different. That's different.
Sorry.
So the reflection comes at you and kind of merges with your body, or your echo's body, I guess. And then it is as if you're sitting in a room and the walls of the room are all not quite mirrors. So it's like reflective and metallic, but it's not that like it, endless mirror thing that happens when you're between two mirrors. It's just like you're in a small reflective box about the size of your body.
And I'll report that to everybody. I'm just like I just try to describe the experience. It's like this, like mirror image of me just grabbed me, and now I'm just in a mirrored closet or something. I can't see anything. Is he in any kind of pain or discomfort?
Nope.
He just seems trapped somehow. What happens when he pushes on the walls of this containment?
It's like a box.
Solid.
Yep.
Can I do an Arcana check to see if this sounds familiar, like compared to any sort of
Cool.
spell or anything? Right, so that is a 21.
Never heard of anything like this before. I mean, you will have heard of spells that can imprison people, but nothing exactly like this.
And just
this doesn't sound like any sort of particular spell or anything. It's definitely a weird effect.
FYI, Jax, he's also immune to any conditions.
Yep, that's fine.
Echo.
There's
just
no,
let you know.
yeah, there's no
Just in case something comes up.
damage, and there's no, yeah, he's just there.
Can I see anything in the clearing or around the pond that doesn't seem natural? So other than like weird shimmery water.
Make a perception, I guess. Please.
Elzaron's gonna try to, while this is happening, try to like see if he can just destroy the containment or push on it. He's pretty strong, and if this thing's small enough, he could try and use his body to kind of see if he can burst out of it. If it's something that's infinitely durable or something he can destroy, possibly.
None of it has any effect.
I look for 11.
Nothing weird apart from the lack of animals.
This.
Do we
Can
see
I make
any
a
of the red
nature check to
flowers?
see if this sounds like any or fiendish bullshit?
Sure, make a history check for feigned bullshit.
Or yeah. Is it history?
Yep.
Let's see.
Make a book nerd check. That's what history checks are.
22.
22? Doesn't seem
22
familiar
check
to you.
if it's fey bullshit.
It's not something you've ever heard of. What is being described?
Elzaron, I'll just say, I can't seem to get out of this thing. I can't even make a dent in these walls. It's just this mere closet. I don't know if it's a pocket dimension or if it's teleported me someplace. It's just solid mirror. He's starting to get a little bit of panic in his voice. Like he's just like this. It's obviously a little,
Good
comfortable.
point.
This idea.
If your echo goes into a demiplane, can you still?
Oh, it doesn't. It doesn't explicitly say. It just says 1,000 feet, but I assume that
Okay.
means that it has to be in the same plane.
I would assume so too. So I would say that when the mirror went, poof, you probably got knocked out of your echo completely.
Oh, yeah.
Sorry, that just occurred to me.
I'm gonna pull out one of my javelins and just like throw it so it would be landing flat on the water.
Like
Okay.
skipping it.
Effectively, I just want to make a big splash.
The water splashes as normal, ripples, and then goes back to what it was. Nathir, did you want to do something?
Well, there's any sign of the red flowers that we were for earlier?
Make a perception check. Or investigation if you're looking. I guess.
Perception. Perception. And we have 17.
Nope. Nothing like what was described in the journal that you can see.
Is going to look over at Elzaren. He's gonna go, yeah. You hold rope, and he's gonna hand him the water rope, and he's gonna run and cannonball into this water.
Elzaren will hold the rope, not putting together because he's a little disoriented from being like having his mind ripped out of that thing, and will not be able to react in time to stop him.
Cannonball into the water. It's all as when you cannonball into water, the water's. And then as it settles, you are faced with a reflection of yourself.
Okay.
And it looks at you, and then it goes at you. I need you to make a dex save. I'm going to be very amused if you all just end up stuck in this pond forever.
I'm hoping we come out in a few weeks not remembering what happened, but...
Did you say 4?
4.
The rope snaps. And you are inside a silvery box.
Okay.
How deep in the water did he get before the rope snapped when I pulled the rope out?
It snapped once he got swallowed.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, I assume that it was his depth. Like I assumed
maybe
he was
like
sinking.
a meter. Like
It's not
just
very...
a little bit
Yeah.
below the surface, yeah.
Whatever happened quick. It's just like this rope's almost the full length.
As far
He
as the
didn't
rest of you saw, cannonballed in, the water settled, and is gone. You don't know what happened.
That is concerning.
But he couldn't have gotten that far. Like the rope was, he pulled out. It's not that he didn't go that far in. Or, I mean, yeah, there's still most of the rope here. Whatever happened real quick.
So the room that I'm in, how big is it?
Big enough for you to sit comfortably in it.
Like 5 by 5? 5
Yeah.
or...
Like it's just big enough for you to like be in without it being uncomfortable, but not super. Yeah. Maybe
Okay.
10 by 10.
Does anyone here detect any kind of magical thing off this? Is there any kind of arcane information we can get? I'm not. I'm a spellcaster.
All right, give me a second. I start
I'll just
putting
I'll
on
just
visor
cast
and-
it.
You'll
Just
just
gonna
what?
cast.
Yeah, I'll just cast detect magic.
Okay.
And I'll also walk up to the I don't know, a couple feet away from the edge of the pond.
Okay.
I'm going to unrope myself and put it in my pack.
Think you would actually detect anything. Make me an Arcana check, Kathris.
I don't think I detect anything. I Arcana for twice.
Yeah, no. There's no obvious magic coming off this. It seems to be whatever is going on here is not a spell or a magical effect or something like that. It is something else.
This clearly magical lake is not magical.
I mean, this is this is something that's just here. Like it's not been. Oh, Elzaren's trying to find words for the entire like in a field he's not studied ever.
Yeah. Lot's got experience. Up on top of him finished the book on fake history. He's got experience with fake portals. Can he maybe try to see if he's read up or come across something similar to this?
Or make a history check.
Ooh, that's a 19.
This does not seem like any kind of fey portal you have ever heard about.
Can I use Divine Sense?
Sure.
So it's celestial, fiend, or undeads within 60 feet, but it also detects the Hallow spell.
None of those things are here.
Sweet. My other brilliant idea from a dumb man. I would like to cast Glitter Bomb just under the surface of the water.
Not again.
Okay, that's a dex save, correct?
That is DC 17.
Cocked. That's a natural one. So, Glitter Bomb goes off just inside this pond. And what you can now see is something that looks like almost like a two-dimensional shape that is folding and unfolding and moving in the water. And as the glitter bomb goes off, you see it kind of shudder and then it lifts out of the water. And what you can see now is basically something that looks like a large mirror coming up out of the water. And it sort of flies and floats and it like does like an origami foldy, unfoldy thing. And as it does that, you can kind of see in it reflections. You can see the reflection of You can see a familiar gnome with a long beard wearing a bathrobe. And you can also see a number of different animals and creatures as well. Like it's clearly been here a while. I'm going to need you all to roll initiative. But you can see it, which is definitely a helpful thing. Ugh. Well, that wasn't very good for me. Okay. Anyone over 20? No one?
Nope.
Cool. How about over 15?
18.
16.
Whoa. 19s. 18.
Me,
Who's Dexia? Kathris
Plus
or
2 to
Gali?
Dex.
0.
Okay, so Kathris, Gali. What were you? 18. 17. 16.
Yep.
Who's Dexy? A year. Elzaren or Lon?
Lon's got +1.
As am I. I'm at I'm at 12. I mean,
I'm at 13.
Okay, so Lon by a fraction. And Elzaren. Was there anyone else over 15? Over 10? What have you got, Nathir?
I had advantage in a +4, and I have an 8.
Excellent. What have you got?
That's rough, buddy.
Okay. What are you called? All right. So, Kathris, you're up first. What do you want to do?
I am gonna walk out across the water.
Okay. This thing is
bonus-
now floating above the water, just FYI.
Sweet.
Yeah.
Bonus action. Make my weapon smoky.
Mhm.
And I will cast Chop upon the mirror twice.
Okay. Chop.
That is lots. Click the right button, please. 25
Hits.
and a crit. So
Nice.
what? Yeah, 25 and a 26. I will also put a second level smite into the crit because why not?
Mhm. So you're
so-
like here now, yes?
Oh yeah, I
No,
forgot.
you have reach.
that we're no longer theatre of mind.
We're no longer theatre of minding.
But yes, reach because.
Yep.
Why get close?
Yep.
I need you. And so the first hit is 14 with 5 points of necrotic.
Okay.
The second hit is going to require definitely some maths.
Maths.
52 points for
What?
the second.
Excellent.
Do I need to separate necrotic or
No.
radiant
No.
or anything?
No.
Cool.
Okay.
Uh,
Yes.
That will actually does it. So as I'm hitting it, does it appear that I'm doing anything?
Yes. So as you're hitting it, I was getting to this. You smack it and you see it. It doesn't shatter like you would expect glass to. It kind of ripples like liquid would. And then the ripples kind of reflect some of it back at you. I need a Constitution save, please.
Here is that dice.
I suggest you pass it.
Well, do I have Twitch inspiration?
Yes, you do.
That was worse.
Oh no,
Do I pass it with an 11?
you do not.
Oh no.
Oh dear. Oh dear. That's a lot of numbers. You take 26 points of force damage as it reflects back some of the bad at you. And then,
No, my
Yes?
temporary hit points.
and then, it is going to split in half.
Sweet.
Oh no, now there's two of them.
Now there's two of them,
Cool.
but they
I'm
are
gonna-
smaller now.
I'm gonna action surge and do that all over again.
Okay.
25.
Yep.
And another crit.
Would
So
you mind
that'll-
letting the other people also play this game? Which one are you attacking? Because there are two now.
Let's go for this one.
Okay.
Actually, do they have different reflections in each one? So is there a hermit in
there's-
one and
yeah,
an arm in
probably.
the other?
Yeah,
Okay.
let's go with that.
I will attack the mirror then.
Okay, cool.
Dice. How do I play this game? 11. So 15 points for the first one.
Uh-huh.
And
This is a good time to remind people in chat that whatever you think you know about monsters, you can throw it away when Jax gets hold of it, because she likes to change stuff. Anyway, continue.
66 points of damage for the second.
What? Okay, so that one dies. It shatters into pieces, and you fall into the water, unless you have water walk, I guess. In which case, you bounced off it when you tried to cannonball, I guess.
Yeah, that would have been so disappointing.
So you fall into the water as the mirror shatters around you.
Choosing champion fighter, best idea.
So you're done now, are you?
I am done.
Excellent. Gali.
Does it reflect back again?
How
Or
do
was
you mean?
that just so how it,
Damage.
Oh
So-
no, only if you don't kill it. It can't do that if it's shattered into pieces.
Sweet.
Also, technically it's a reaction, so I can only do it once.
Okay, so I am going to slap my big metal hands together, make a massive boom, and go, "Let's do this!" And just going to basically charge straight in there
Uh-huh.
and do let's see here. I'll do my charge attack, and then I'll just smack them twice with my fists.
Okay.
Quick question, point of
Yes.
order.
Yeah.
Is the glitter bomb effect applied to the shattered ones as well?
I guess so, yeah. So there's a lot of
which
little
case-
bits
Or
of...
attacks have advantage against them?
Yes, that's true. You have an
Oh.
advantage. Yep, that's true.
Well, that is
Good call.
nice. But before I do that, I am going to use my bait and switch maneuver.
Okay.
I'm just going to grab Arm and go, "Round you go," and throw him to where I am and switch places with him. So, I need you to move on to the left side of that creature if you can. Thank you. That increases my AC,
Yep.
and that's when I just start smacking.
Okay.
So, that's a 22 to hit, so
Yep.
that's definitely going to hit.
Yep.
For 10 bludgeoning damage,
Mm-hmm.
and then followed up with 2 thunder fists to the face. Oops, that's
It
wrong
doesn't have
one.
a face, it's a mirror.
Well, if I can see my face on it, then I'm going to smack
Ah.
it. Yeah.
You can see Malachi.
Cool.
He appears to be sipping tea.
So that's a 16 to hit.
Yep.
Cool. And I'll just roll them both at the same time here. So another 16 or 25. So that definitely hits.
Yep.
So that's 10 and that's 6. So 16 thunder
Cool.
damage.
Excellent. Oh, hang on. Oh no, never mind. I was thinking of something else. Cool. That's you?
Yeah. Do I have to? Does it hit me back?
No, it's a reaction, so it's used it until its turn.
Ah.
However, it does split again.
It splits from thunder damage. All right.
Oh no, it splits from damage.
I see.
So there are now 2.
Good to know.
That's you,
That is me.
Lon.
Alright, Lon doesn't have water walking because it's run out on him, but he does have spells.
Yes.
So he's going to Eldritch Blast the top one first.
Uh-huh.
Let's see what he gets because he's got advantage. That is a 22.
That hits.
2d10 plus 12. Oh my, that's a d8, first of all. Wrong dice.
Oh.
10 plus 12, 22 force damage to the top one.
One's down. You watch as a gnome in a bathrobe begins to fall to the water and goes, no, and stops just above the water and is hovering there. And he's like sitting above the water in midair, legs crossed, pulls out a thermos and starts drinking tea and watches you do the rest.
And he's going to use his bonus action to cast Eldritch Blast at the other one.
Okay. Sorry to the people
That-
at the bottom of the initiative order. Kathris killed it in the first round.
That is a 27 to hit, so...
Yep.
with 9, 21 force damage.
Yeah, that one's also dead.
Yeah.
As the last one dies, a motley crew of deer and snakes and other things comes falling out of the mirror. Some land in the water, panicked, and they all fuck off. Yeah, you dispatched that very effectively. Good job. Clearly, I didn't give it enough hit points. Malachi is sitting, floating above the water, and he goes, "Well, excellent! I've been in there a while. It was getting dull. There's only so long one can talk to oneself before one gets a bit bored of one's own company. And who might all of you be? And what are you doing here? That was a very dangerous thing, you know."
Yeah, that's what we do.
We were sent here to rescue you.
"Oh, how nice! What a pleasure. I probably would have got out eventually, I suppose." "Well, I suppose I did get out eventually." "Excellent."
I'm just gonna
Line
pull
down
out a
patience.
thermos and give him some tea.
"Oh, thank you. Mine went cold a while back." Drinks it happily.
It's good tea.
What?
Like, floats himself to the end and then like steps off like he's stepping off a nice, platform of some sort.
Yeah.
Onto the ground. He is tiny. His
How
beard
did you-
goes to his knees. He is wearing a baby blue bathrobe and some fluffy bunny slippers.
How did you get stuck?
I was looking for something, and I heard that there were people. How long have I been gone?
Month.
Month.
Oh dear. Gosh, that's longer than I intended. Well, I was looking for something, and I heard that people were, well, not people, exactly. Creatures. Although people. Anyway, they were forgetting things, and since that was a major component of the thing I was seeking, I came to investigate, and I got thirsty, and I tried to drink some water, and then it was in a box.
I see. Did you find what you were looking for?
I did not, unfortunately.
Is it the red flowers?
Yes. How did you know about that?
We were looking through them. I spoke with Dave.
Ah, Dave, yes. He must be quite discombobulated. Apparently everybody uses that word in this town. It's my word of the day.
Word of the day. He seemed
my absence.
bored.
Ah,
He's
that-
been eating
that-
rosemary.
Oh, my poor rosemary bushes. Oh dear. Well, at least he will smell nice, I suppose.
Do you intend to keep searching?
I mean, yes, but I should probably go home for a bit. Make sure everybody's okay. Probably send word to the townsfolk and let them know that I didn't, in fact, get eaten by... Well, I suppose I did get eaten by something. I didn't because there was no digestion. Not eaten. Just momentarily detained.
Yeah, what was that?
I have no idea. Do you know?
No.
Never.
Weird. It was weird. It was very peculiar. I've never seen anything like it. And I've seen a lot of things.
Do you know why this part of the forest is so quiet and empty?
Probably due to the big scary mirror creature eating things.
That's a good thought, yeah. Alright, well, I think we're done here.
Yeah, Lost gonna look out the rest of the team, see if you guys have anything left to say or whatever.
You don't walk them
Do you
back,
wish
you
for
know?
us to, do you want us to take you back to town, or are you happy
There are
to-
people
Probably
very-
make it on my own if you're, in a hurry or something.
Not particularly in a hurry. Just there are some people very concerned in town. Probably won't take our word for it.
I could get back very quickly. Would you like to come along?
I say
Sure.
we go along.
I say we go along.
He casts teleportation and takes you all back to town.
Second time today. Woo!
Boom. You're back in Circle Creek. It's a little bit disconcerting because suddenly you're outside of his house and he's like, "Hey, there we go. Oh gosh, it's gotten a bit overgrown, hasn't it?" You get the distinct impression that it is always overgrown, but apparently his idea of overgrown and your idea of overgrown are different.
Just a little bit.
I'm sure we can
Think-
fix that up.
I
Yes.
think the llama would help.
He
Him
does
eat.
help.
He-
What?
He could help.
With the
He
overgrownness.
needs the grass,
Yes.
the bushes,
Yes.
and the roses.
Well, sometimes.
Okay.
Would you like some tea? Or
Why not? It's been a day.
okay. He takes you inside. He looks at the table and he just goes and then he's like talking to you. And as he's talking to you, a tea set comes out of the kitchen, starts to brew itself. It like heats up by itself. Various teacups appear from various places around the house. They just kind of noodle over like something out of Beauty and the Beast. He like sniffs at a couple of them and then waves them off, and they go off and wash themselves in the kitchen and then come back. And he's like, there, right, here we go. And the tea pours itself, and he gives you each a cup.
Lom pulls out like whatever left over from the picnic basket and the baking that they got from earlier, and he just puts them out and people can just go have a go at them.
Pastries.
Except the Bannocks. He like grabs it like
He ate all
that's
the.
almost gone. And he grabs the
Amazing.
last one.
Cool. He will begin to eat the pastries with great
Gusto.
enjoyment. The
Well-
enjoyment of a man who does not usually have company. It is not pretty to watch.
While the tea party's going on, Kathris will wander back into town to the anvil
Yeah.
to find Matilda or whatever her name was,
Andeline, yes.
Vandaline.
Auntie Deli, and I will inform her that her little gnome has returned.
Oh, good job. Where was he? Was he asleep somewhere?
Yes.
So you didn't have to fight anything?
Not really. He was trapped inside some kind of strange folding mirror creature, but you stab a mirror and it shatters, so
I see. Folding mirror creature. I've never heard of that before.
neither had he, but he's dead
Interesting.
now and he's back.
I see. Well, good job. Do send your lady my regards when you return.
Will do. Is there anything else you wish for me to take to her, or?
No, I have my means of reaching her if I need to.
Very well. Now we'll go back to the tea party.
So anyway, then there were 3 toadstools left, and he is telling you
Wait,
extremely
what
boring
happened-
stories
What
about.
happened to the 4th toadstool? I thought there was 4.
Yes, no, that one was eaten by the badger. Keep up,
Oh.
young man. Very boring stories about his time in the forest, in excruciating detail.
Any of the plants or animals sound interesting.
I mean, sure. What would be interesting to Lon?
He's looking for like exotic plants. He just likes to hear about exotic plants and animals.
I mean, Malachi is a treasure trove of knowledge about exotic plants. Like, he knows about all sorts of weird and wonderful things. And if you start questioning him, he will speak about it for hours if you let him.
Let's start asking
Some would
questions.
like.
Yeah, Elzaren's
Some
just
would specifically
paying
ask
attention
him.
just enough to ask questions, like to show that he's involved, even though he's kind of half tuned out.
Sorry, yes?
Some would ask him. Research about forgetting plants.
Yes.
Plants that make you forget.
Yes.
Yes, I've forgotten a lot. Maybe because I'm old.
Yes,
maybe
that does happen
because
when you're old.
I
You know
am
what's
by
good
myself for a
is
long time.
If you take the memories out and put them somewhere safe, then you can retrieve them when you need them.
Oh, that's a thing?
Yeah.
How do you do that?
I can.
Can you teach me?
Probably not right now. It is
Maybe.
quite advanced magic, but maybe at a future point.
Maybe future.
Maybe you can come back
Okay.
here.
I'm trying to find it.
Maybe.
It's quite a high level spell. Do you know what spell I'm talking about? I just saw it this morning.
There's a cantrip that does that.
maybe that's what I'm thinking of. Anyway.
That stores a memory?
Oh yeah, that's the one he's talking about. Oh, so he totally can teach you then. Yeah. Encode thoughts. He just has like jars of silver threads. The things he didn't want to lose.
Maybe
Oh, yes,
should
I
learn
can.
that.
I can. Oh, you were a wizard? I've forgotten what can do. Can you learn
No,
things
he's
from
not a
other
wizard.
wizards? No. Cool.
Uh,
He shows you how to do
Okay.
it, and it does not take, I guess. He's like, it's easy. Look, you just do this, and you all see a silver thread come out of his head. See? This is my memory of the fourth toadstool. Would you like it? And he offers it to Elzaren.
Does the
Sure.
same thing, except he just pulls out a long strand of gray hair.
Here you go, a memory of a fourth toadstool, just for you.
What happens when I take this strand?
You have a strand.
I'll put it in my pocket next to my zombie doll.
It is a tiny, weightless, semi-solid object that can be held and carried like a ribbon.
well done.
So you see Elzaren take out this little doll that looks like it's like from Night of the Living Dead. He'll tie a little ribbon around its neck like a little bow tie. Put it back in his pocket.
So Malachi will talk to you for a period of time about exotic plants. It's longer than it would otherwise be because you are speaking about one of the subjects that is close to his heart. But after a certain amount of time, he goes, well, that's quite enough of people. Can you leave now, please?
Yeah. Yes, we can. Elzaren will leave.
He's about to ask another question because I suppose we should head back.
You understand that I only have a certain amount of people time per day that I can put up with you lot.
Elzaren is gone. Nice.
Excellent.
What if I'm an
Thank
animal?
you for the rescue. You're
Until
welcome
next
back
time.
anytime. Bring presents and pastries.
Understood.
Slams the door shut as you leave.
Do you care to do the honors, Nathir?
Does Nathir know how to get home? Has anyone told
No,
him?
no, Nathir does not know how to get home.
Elzaren will get
You,
to
You say battle axe.
it's a code word, and he'll not that word. It's
No,
and
that
he'll
doesn't
say the
work.
word.
Okay.
He'll say the word
He says-
Bellatrix.
Bellatrix, and you are all back in the throne room. Welcome back. That was rapid. Good job. I suppose it wasn't
Keep-
because you spent hours walking through the forest.
Yeah.
No, searching for a missing person. That's still pretty fast.
Yeah.
Did you find him?
Yes,
We did, my lady.
Excellent. And he was all right?
he is now.
Good. I'm glad to hear
I
it.
think he was in a box. He was in a
There was
box.
Box.
Maybe?
Elzaren will describe the mirror creature and what it was doing. See if the
Interesting.
lady knows what
It was
to
a
say.
box. And you go in the box,
I actually rolled quite
and then I
high.
came out of the box.
I've got to actually go and look her up to see what her history is. It's not really her realm of expertise.
Yeah, but you're around long enough. You'd be surprised what you pick up.
She is, yeah. She's been around. But it's also a thing that is outside of her usual.
Yeah.
Oh shit!
Yeah.
I have. Oh no, that's a saving throw. Oh shit! I do have high history. That's a 30.
Oh.
Cause immortal.
Mhm.
She kind of frowns and she goes, I feel like I've vaguely heard of something like that, but they're usually like in the astral sea, not on the material plane. I wonder if this is another one of these bleed things,
Like the fish.
Maybe.
like the fish.
Concerning.
Yes, but not unknown at the moment. Hopefully this will be a thing that we can fix over the next, couple of years.
Yeah, and if you need more things punched, you know where to call.
Indeed. Well, excellent work, team. I'm
Thank
glad
you.
Malachi is safe. He is a delight. Did you enjoy his company?
Yes.
It was very fun.
Quite a lot of information he has.
He knows a lot of things about a lot of things.
I would like to speak with him again at some point.
I imagine you will get the opportunity.
It just looks like, what does that mean? But it doesn't say anything.
I mean, the lady hasn't told anyone, I don't think yet, that she's planning on handing the Horde over to Adeline. The players know that, the characters.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Elzaren would point out, he's like, he even gave me a memory, and he'll show the silver
Oh.
strand.
You know that's extremely good currency in certain circles.
I don't know if memories of mushrooms. We'll see. And he'll
Memories
tie it back around. Yeah.
can
I like
be
mushrooms.
excellent currency. You should hang on to that. You never know where it might come in handy.
I will. I'm already putting it with my guard. And ties it right back around the zombie doll.
Excellent. Maybe don't take that anywhere near Jean-Luc.
No, I don't. No. Or at least not. I won't command it to do anything. At least
Excellent.
it
Alright.
obeys me.
Well, excellent work, adventurers. As always, you will be rewarded with gold and favors. I am sure your friends are waiting for your safe return.
You're most kind and generous.
Give her a big salute.
Majesty.
Big salute. All right. So you will leave the throne room.
Yep.
Elzaren will leave.
Excellent.
Have Zook and Shadow come back from there?
Yes, they have.
If Zook was there, he would also receive
Okay.
the same level of respect.
Have Kathris and Zook had that conversation yet?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Just checking. Cool.
Yep.
All right. So you all leave the palace. Another successful mission under your belts. That would have been a lot harder without the glitter bomb. I'm just saying. What a
Oh,
great
yes.
It
spell!
was
What a great spell!
Unbelievable.
Very
Mention
handy.
that as a fucking
2
genius.
weeks in a row.
No sorcery.
Kathris' favorite spell. Glitter bomb.
Well, my next plan was to cast Shatter underwater, so that would have been very interesting.
Yep. That would have been interesting. All right. Everyone watching, thank you for watching and being part of this crazy community. We appreciate you so much. I am now going to go and plan a late Halloween feast. No, just cook it. It's planned already. Have a wonderful week. Next week we have our 6th seal, Amber in Mechanus. We have a bunch of people going to Mechanus. And then on Sunday we're going to do Igwulf the Witch Queen, where a high-level team is going to go and attempt to convince Igwulf, aka Tasha, to join our side. We'll see how that goes. I'm sure that's going to be great. Yeah, until then, have a great week and have a very happy time zone wherever you are. We love you.
Peace.